Sometimes in education, it can be hard to improve one's instructional techniques because even if someone may be proficient in the topic they are teaching, that doesn't mean that they will be proficient in teaching it. However, hope is far from lost, because with a little dedication and research, one can easily learn how to better tackle the weaker aspects of their technique. First, make an effort to understand your students. It is understandable that you may become annoyed that your students aren't comprehending what is being taught. However, as a teacher, you must do your best to slow down and understand why they aren't getting it. Start by asking them what they're confused about, and look into ways to better teach that certain aspect of education. It's also worth mentioning that occasionally a student may be doing poorly due to external problems like home life or social relationships, at which time it isn't a good idea to push the student too firmly. Instead, it's a good idea to try to help them through the hardship if they're willing to talk about it. Second, make your teaching style diverse and interactive. Students go to school for hours at a time. Particularly if your class is late in the day, these students are likely tired and ready to go home. As such, making your class as fun and interactive as possible is a nice way to boost your students' comprehension. This can be done in many ways. You could show examples of what you're teaching. You could diversify your assignments. You could even introduce a more question-based curriculum where interaction feels natural and fun, etc. Overall, the goal should just be to make learning more fun. Third, know who you're teaching. Every school is different. Every classroom is different. Every single student you will ever teach is different. As such, it is important that when starting a new semester, to make a point to notice who your class is and how they interact with itself. Is it a right-to-the-point study-based class? Is it more of a fun, lighthearted, conversation-based class? Is it a class which enjoys learning through hands-on practice? All of these traits will change how you must teach the class, and a good teacher with practice should be able to adapt no matter what type of class they are. Fourth, be open to negotiation. Teachers can easily lose track of the fact that they are working with students who are often stressed and have many other classes to deal with. Of course, this isn't to say to let them walk all over you. However, hear them out if they band together in search of an extension on a project, or if they desire to review an old subject. Plus, this gives way to the possibility of them desiring to move faster in a class, which is always a wonderful advent. Fifth, stay up to date. A good teacher is one who grows with the times and makes an effort to know how and why the newer generation do what they do. After all, the best way to form a connection with someone is through understanding, and that truth holds very strong in a teacher-student relationship. Finally, simply enjoy your work. No matter what profession someone works in, those who enjoy their work will always do better than even someone who is naturally good at what they do. It can be hard to enjoy what you do after years or decades of dealing with young students, particularly if you're teaching primary or secondary school, but it's important to always remember why you started teaching in the first place. Overall, teaching can be a hard job. Between being underpaid, overworked, and discredited for how important they are to the country, it is completely understandable why they may turn sour and annoyed with the world. However, if they can pull through and remain hopeful throughout their time working, they are some of the single most important people to our country and the world as a whole.